Welcome to the DLG Podcast, adding games both new and old to your backlog, one slightly inappropriate episode at a time. Of course, my name is Christian, and we built this city with towers and stone. Joining me today is Taylor.
Yeah, and I recently found out I have more STDs than I thought.
And Amanda.
And I'm just trying to ride the wave, but I'm well prepared and well stocked and ready to handle it.
Today, folks, we're going to be talking about, if you didn't guess, a beloved childhood game genre of mine, tower defense games, TDs or STDs if you're us and want to try and be funny. The festival for tower defense is on Steam right now as you're listening to this. Us from the past are talking to you from the future. And so the games that we talk about on this episode will be on sale and ready for you to buy at deeply discounted prices. We've timed this, of course, for your pleasure, for your listening pleasure and your playing pleasure. And we hope that you can join us playing some tower defenses this week and next. But first, what the hell are tower defenses anyways, guys? Like, this is crazy. You set up the Steam tag tower defense on Steam and all sorts of weird games are popping up. It sounds simple, right? You build towers to defend against creeps. No? Is this what we all thought tower defenses were?
I mean, it's what I thought it was until you had asked me to put in and filter my library by tag, and I put in tower defense. And I recommend every single one of our listeners to do the same and be shocked and amazed at what games you didn't think were tower defenses. But surprise, they are.
Yes.
Yeah. I noticed that too when I went earlier this week to check out the tag, and some of these games popping up were just like, huh? What? Like a lot of them are like city builders and other strategy games that just so happen to have like a tower or turret as part of it, but that's not at all the main focus of the game.
Yeah.
And they're tagged tower defense, and it's like, huh? Like, for instance, Stronghold Crusader.
Yeah.
Is that a tower defense game?
Is that a tower defense game? I mean, you have towers that defend from mobs. I mean, it's interesting. Like, the first tower defense I played was Winter Mall TD on Warcraft 3 custom maps. And if you are out there and you're listening and you know what Winter Mall is, congrats. Me and you are cut from the same cloth. You can put that on your shelf or wall or wherever you want to put that illustrious award, because it involved building towers, upgrading them through killing creeps that got you gold, and then making a maze so that the creeps were lost in their pathfinding to get to the end. Now, you couldn't block the exit. The creeps couldn't attack your towers. The game would automatically destroy any tower that actually blocked the creeps' advance. And so in my mind, that is the purest form of what a TD is. Something like They Are Billions or the game you just talked about. You're encouraged to completely block off Stronghold HD. You're encouraged to completely block off your dudes, your walling, to prevent creeps from entering. And I feel like that breaks a classic tower defense taboo where it's about the creative ways that you can keep the creeps out, not just like putting up walls and with high HP. You know, that's lame. So I want to run through some examples here. I played a tower defense where you are the creeps called Tower Escape. Now, essentially, in my mind, this is exactly the same as upgrading the towers, because you are upgrading the creeps as they move, and you're upgrading their speed and their health. Like, you're upgrading some of their stats. Some of your creeps can empower other of your creeps, and the AI is building towers against you. I thought this was such a cool concept for a game. I love that. But is it a tower defense? It's gotta, I don't know.
I think it is. I don't know. Yeah. I guess to me,
it's a tower attack.
It's a tower attack. Because we have bullet hell and bullet heaven. If we're going to get granular about these genres, I feel like tower defense is in this big bracket, and it needs some granularity. If tower attacks were like the next genre, the hot genre, we would totally have a genre for it. But by the way, I like that you just pulled that out of your back pocket. Tower attack. That's great.
Yeah.
Real quick question for you, Christian.
Yeah.
And Amanda. But We keep saying this word over and over. Creeps.
Yes.
For those who are unfamiliar with the genre, what is a creep?
It's something that spawns and it comes
Ooh.
at you, and you have to defend against it for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why it's named creep. I went on a bit of a investigative journey. I was like, why are they called creeps? And this old Dota post from 11 years ago, this guy's like, hey, why are they called creeps, by the way? And someone said, well, in Warcraft 3 vanilla, when you attack a neutral, the neutral heroes on the map.
Camp.
Yeah, the neutral camp, they are called creeps. And so we've inherited that term from there. And so then I looked, why did they name the neutral camps in Warcraft 3 creeps? And get this is going to blow all of your guys' minds. It's because they're creepy.
I bet.
You know? Like, sometimes it really is that simple. They're named creeps because they're creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they come in waves usually, right? Like, and I mean, I feel like that's at least the also core part of a tower defense is that you were defending against waves of the enemy, which creeps is a perfect way to describe them because a lot of times they're creeping, they're trying to get through your towers, and you're like, not today.
And generally, you're like defending a base of some kind, right? Like, and it can vary based on the game, but yeah, you're trying to stop them from getting to your base and attacking it and taking down all its health.
Yeah.
And if all the health goes, boom, you're done. Game over. But there's no way to like stop the source of the creeps. Like as the name implies, it's purely defensive.
Yeah.
But there are some interesting genre fusion tower defense games that have come out in the years since we were playing Warcraft custom mods. Which do involve more than just defending.
And I want to run through them. So what if you had one tower that you upgrade and the game is the fun part of the game is all about the resource extraction, which is what Domekeeper is. You're mining in the space underneath your tower, you're extracting different minerals, and you're upgrading your one big tower, and then you shoot it like an FPS. You shoot the tower, which I thought, obviously Domekeeper, great game. What if your towers come alive and move so they can fight the creeps, and you're building towers, but you're more building an army, and that's what happens in Legion TD. What if it's more like a city builder where you talked about that? They are billions. That's probably the best example. What if your towers fight each other and it's actually a PvP game, tower versus tower? Then you're playing Minion Masters, which we played the shit out of like 6 years ago. Yeah. Minion Masters is still fun. I still get cravings to play that game. I'm like, fuck, I was rank. Like no one was playing. I was ranked like 13. I was like, yeah.
A lot of the Warcraft 3 custom mods I used to play were like competitive tower defenses where there were multiple lanes of people and you would set up your towers and then you could spend the gold you earned to send stronger creeps to one of your enemy's lanes. Did you ever play any of those?
Yeah, that is basically Legion TD. Yep. Yeah, where there's a couple, and I'll talk about that later in the show because that is the game that I actually recommend people play if they're interested in TDs, and maybe they want to play something that is like a non-standard version of something they know, which is Legion TD. But we'll talk about that later. Guys, any specific games that came to your mind that you were surprised were TDs? Let's hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two for me. I honestly, traditionally, I played some Warcraft 3 growing up, but I never really felt that I was much of a tower defense player. I kind of get bored of it very quickly. I very quickly find where these good pinch points are going to be and then put all of my defenses and shit there. And then I get super bored because I'm just... It's going to sound like such a humble brag, but I'm crushing it. So then I'm like, okay, well, what's next? So
You're too good at TDs.
Yeah, that sounds
true.
I know.
That's
That's
true.
not. It can't be true. It can't be true. But I do get bored.
Right.
Of the same thing. And so no, I'm not some expert TD player. But I really love this intersection of how it has morphed to something different, and that's why I loved looking at the tags in my library and being like, Oh my God, yeah, that actually is a TD, and I never thought of it that way. And I really think of like Deck of Haunts comes to mind, and 7 Days to Die. And I'll get into it. So Deck of Haunts is a like card building, truly a TD though, because you are a haunted house and you have to protect your heart, and you build your house out like a maze during the daytime, and then at night people will always just come in, and there'll be more people, more and more people. And I just thought that the game was done so beautifully well in that it was fun. I felt like I was building this maze, and it was super exciting. But it's also very much a tower defense. Like after looking, I never thought of it that way. I always thought of it as like a kind of building card game in a way that just was like a great way to kind of trick people. But yeah, as you look into the
down
game,
to the gray boxes away with all the ribbons and bows, this is a TD, which is
it's absolutely a TD.
When you talked about this game, I never would have thought of that for 1 second until yeah.
Exactly. I was genuinely shocked, and then now I can never look at it the same. It is truly a TD because the rooms that I'm building, where it's making the people that walk through them take bleeding damage, or there's a ghost in the room, so
the rooms are the towers.
The rooms are the towers, exactly,
So
and it's the
TD.
different lines of defense, exactly,
Nice.
and they're constantly coming in. So it's a perfect example of that. I loved Deck of Haunts. It's a fantastic game,
When you wrote
and it's
that-
not one you'd expect.
It's not one you'd expect. When you wrote it down immediately, it clicked for me. But when you put 7 Days to Die down, I was like, okay, hold up. I'm going to have to hear, what's this about?
Yeah. Yeah, so 7 Days to Die, I had to actually really think about, because it was one of the ones where I was like, is it really? Because, I mean, it's a fucking crafting survival game. Come on now.
Right.
Like, that's what brought me to it. But then I thought of the
It does have
time.
like base building, but
Yes, it's base building, and here's why it's a TD. I would argue that that's not the core mechanic of 7 Days to Die, though. That I think it's a supplementary one, but a pretty strong one, because you get to a certain point in 7 Days to Die where it's just waves, and you have to keep defending and building your defenses. I think of this time when I was playing with, I believe it was SOCOM, that one of our community members who's been around for forever. I was playing with him, and he had built this elaborate like maze base with all these booby traps and all these other like towers that are literally launching arrows into zombies, because every night just waves are coming in trying to get into your base.
Yeah.
And that part is very, very tower defense. But it takes a whole ass crafting survival game to get to that point.
To the TD. It's like that Scooby-Doo meme. It's like 7 Days to Die. No, you were a TD the whole time.
Right? Yeah. And it took you about like 3 days to not die, and now you have 4 days to make sure you don't die by building your tower. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, when you set up the traps, you electrify your defenses. It's kind of like a first-person tower. Honestly, totally.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah. Yeah.
And I honestly, it got me thinking of like, how have I seen tower defenses in other games that I didn't think of? Just recently, I played Quarantine Zone. There's absolutely a part of that game that also is a tower defense. You're working on upgrading and building your quarantine check zone, and part of that is upgrading and building up the wall that you then check at night, and sometimes you'll get an alarm when waves of zombies are coming through to attack, and you have different things that you can use. Like as you level up, you can use missiles, then you can launch like bombs, you can utilize these gas canisters that are laid out there to blow up zombies, and so like that feels very tower defense as well. But that was a very small fraction of that game, but still it's cool to see how creative people have gotten into weaving tower defenses into games that we don't assume are, right?
Yeah. Like Taylor said, we've come a long way since Warcrafting. But Taylor, did you have any games that surprised you? You're like, oh, I guess this is a TD. Sure.
yeah. So I already mentioned one earlier that like was tagged as tower defense that I don't think. But then there's a couple that like I was thinking about this kind of genre over the week, and a game that popped into two games popped in my head as not necessarily thinking they were tower defense, but could maybe be construed that way. It's like endless dungeon, if you're familiar with that game, where you are like protecting your ship core with your group of heroes while exploring the endless dungeon. And I guess it actually is a tower defense game when you think about it, because it's got all the basic elements. You know, you're defending the core or your base, and you do get to set up defenses in addition to exploring the dungeon. And then another one that I was like, this could become a tower defense game if you wanted to play that way, was Supreme Commander 2, which is really an RTS game. But if you wanted to play in a turtle style in that game, it could very easily become a tower defense game.
When that is how I play the game, and it's so satisfying to watch enemy missiles and airships and units roll into my defenses. I don't like the part of the game where I'm actually building the army and attack, which is the game, by the way.
Yeah, 90% of the game.
Yeah. I love the building defenses part. So totally, I see that. Yeah.
I like to play that way too. And I used to play online multiplayer with that game. And there was this guy that I somehow met, and he was extraordinarily good at Supreme Commander 2. And he would challenge me and my friend to 2v1 him. And basically what the rules were like, both sides get 15 or 20 minutes of the game where there's no you can't cross a certain point of the map, so you can build up. And then after that, it's like, all right, go ahead. And this guy would like build this insane like base layout structure of overlapping shields and turrets and artillery and all of that, to the point it was like impregnable, and like like me and my friend together couldn't pierce that shell.
Great. So he was playing this as a TD. Okay, cool. So those are just a couple games that sort of, you build things to defend against things, and then you upgrade those things. Like, is that? I'm doing such a poor job of explaining the genre, but is that the genre?
I think you gotta also put in there that there's a wave element too, where it's like a relentless stream of enemies will keep coming at you. So like that's part of why you need to build that up. But
yeah, I guess the enemies coming in waves is a big element of it.
Okay. You build things to defend against things that don't stop coming at you until they do, in which case you've won. But sometimes they don't, and it's always how long can you survive until you lose. Is that the fair? Got it.
Yeah.
That's the genre. Nice. I'm gonna pull that out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull that out in the elevator and see what people think about it. It's very clear. All right. I want to go into what is one TD that you'd recommend that people play. And Amanda, maybe we'll start with you. You talked about this game before, but every time you talk about it, it makes me want to jump in. So.
Yeah. So we're talking about Kingdom 2 Crowns. For the starters, I'm a big fan of high value, like spending a low amount of money to get a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of games. Bring me back my Blockbuster where I can just pay a little bit and then try a bunch of stuff, right? So I feel like Kingdom 2 Crowns, on one hand, on like a financial decision, is a really great way, because usually they have bundles. They put a bunch of these games together for like one price, sometimes one low price if you get it on sale, and you have a whole bunch of different ways to play a tower defense, or at least different settings that are really beautifully done. This game is incredibly aesthetically pleasing, and it is a side-scrolling tower defense, which I think on one hand makes it super fun, because I could see the argument of maybe some people get turned off by tower defenses of having that aerial view, and there's just like a ton of shit to manage and look at and do. But when you just have to go, okay, I'm just running left, or I'm just running right. And like, that's it. It becomes a lot easier to manage, and it feels like a much more kind of casual way of playing it. But especially when talking about Kingdom Two Crowns, like the 80s one, that was a whole production. Like, there's cinematic scenes and there's a strong story. So, I just think that it's such a great game to play. I would recommend the Kingdom 80s over all the rest of them, but Kingdom Two Crowns just as a whole and all of the other ones that they've created have been just really beautiful and calming in a way to play. Like, I think they're very fun. They're very soothing. Usually the music's done really well. They do a really great job of the design and the artwork on it, but also too, I feel like it's pretty balanced. Like, it never felt like it was too easy, and it also never felt like it was too hard. So I feel like they balanced that difficulty really well as well with the creeps. It's just overall a great game, and you can play it on the Steam Deck. And I think don't quote me, it might be on Nintendo Switch, but either way, guys, you can sit on your couch and play it and have a great time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. When I was playing Tower Escape, the game where you are the towers, that was the biggest selling point to me, is how easy it was to play on the Steam Deck, because I was playing it over Christmas. And, a tower defense, part of the thing is just sitting back and watching the towers do their thing,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not actively playing the whole time, so I can, like, talk to people at Christmas and be like
That's
a functioning member of fucking society.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite parts of the genre, actually, is that there are periods where you just watch. And
You can multitask. Yeah.
like, there are other games, other tower defense games where, like, for instance, Sanctum, where when the creeps are attacking, you go into first-person shooter mode and, like,
It tries to keep you activated.
And
the whole
you're staying
game.
active the whole time. And, like, while that is fun, on the other hand, sometimes I do just want to, like, have set up all my stuff and then just watch it kill everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I like how I was like, oh, yeah, with the downtime, I can, like, talk to people and be and Amanda was like, I can multitask. I can have RuneScape on up with the other
10,000% can it RuneScape? Yes, tower
RuneScape.
defenses can.
Does this genre pass the RuneScape test? Tower defenses, yes, for the most part, they do. Cool. Taylor, what game do you recommend people try?
All right. Yeah. So my recommendation is Orcs Must Die 2. And there
Must they die, Taylor? Must they?
I mean, come on, they're orcs.
They must.
They gotta go.
Okay, got it.
Especially when they're coming for you.
Yeah, they are coming, and they can't. They don't stop.
But I say the one I recommend is number 2, because 2 includes co-op, 1 does not, and then 3 I haven't played, so I can't speak on it. But Orcs Must Die kind of takes that tower defense concept and then mixes it up with third-person action, where you control war. I think they call them war mages in the lore, but you control some kind of hero, and so you can shoot, cast spells, etc., as well as, like, when the waves aren't are actively coming at you, you can. You're setting up traps and designing little mazes and, whatever to stop the orcs. So while you are able to, kill a bunch of the mobs with yourself, you're really not going to be able to win that way. Like, you're doing a small dent in the total number. But what really sells it to me is and makes it a recommendation is the co-op. Like, getting into a game like that with your friend, sitting there and talk in the planning stages and talking about, all right, how are we going to set up our traps? Like, I think we should put a spike trap there and a pit trap there and a ball trap, a boulder trap here. And then, your buddy's like, no, actually, like, what if we did this instead? And that's always a lot of fun. And then once it gets into the combat and you're both, like, blasting away at the orcs, it's always, then you're in the chaos, and you can be like, hey man, there's like a troll over here, dude. I need your help. So I don't know. I love co-op gaming in the first place.
Yeah.
And so I think Orcs Must Die 2 really nails that.
That's awesome. Dang, I want to play that right now. As I've never played any of the Orcs Must Die series. And from what you were talking about, sorry, this is kind of a bird walk, but is the first TD the board game Mousetrap?
Oh.
Right? I don't know if me and my friends were playing it properly, by the way, because we played it when we were like 9.
Mousetrap.
So likely not.
I guess.
You're setting up the traps. You're rolling the dice.
Okay.
You have those cards.
Maybe the first tower defense is actually the labyrinth, the Minotaur's labyrinth.
Okay, so I wasn't going to bring this up because I couldn't find the game name, but during Next Fest, I played a tower defense that was that. You were Daedalus, the master crafter, making a maze, and these Athenian heroes would come into your maze and try to kill the Minotaur, who was you. So you have two characters. Way. Yeah, the Minotaur, and he himself can withstand some hits and like rip people to shreds. But really, as Daedalus, you're making spike traps. You're tempting them to sip poison, or you're making them go to like a corner of the maze, and it's like a secret hidden bookshelf, and they pull a book, then they end up on the other side. They can't get back in. So all this like tropey sort of lab. It was so fun and so well done, but I can't remember the game name. So I have to look at my play history one of these days, and because I think it might be coming out soon. Yeah,
that really sounds awesome.
And it should be co-op because one person could be Daedalus and one person
and the other
Daedalus
the
and one the Minotaur. Yeah, so. Anyways, missed opportunity. Maybe it is co-op, and I missed that because I can't even remember the name of the fucking game. So. But for what's one TD I'd recommend people play, and I actually know the name of, would be Legion TD on Warcraft 3. So this week I played a lot of Warcraft 3. I always like find an excuse to go back to this fucking custom games on Warcraft 3. It was so popular, this game on Steam, Legion TD, that it made its own standalone version on Steam that you can play and download. It is co-op. You play, it's a game, 2 teams are fighting each other, and within those 2 teams, there's a left team and a right team because there's 2 lanes. And you use your gold to buy towers, and your wood sends enemies at the enemy towers. And the more enemies you send, the higher income you get. So you're trying to balance, how many towers should I build versus how many enemies should I send? Because gold also buys enhanced wood production. So those are the things you're sort of juggling. And when I was playing this, I was so bad, guys, that the other 3 people on my team said, hey, Sniper, can you stop buying towers? Just stop playing half of the game. Stop buying towers entirely and only buy stuff that makes wood, and then only send units at the enemy. They called it going full send.
Full send.
And I said,
full send sniper.
Yeah. And I asked, should I sell my towers? And they said, yes, you've built them so terribly that they're basically doing nothing. And I was carried hard, and I sent, I ended up building up my wood production. I was our prime sender of enemy forces, and we ended up winning. So the strategy wasn't totally. And then after the game, I messaged them and I said, do you guys always do this? Like, is it sort of the strategy to have one person go full send? And they go, no, only when it's going real bad and someone's really sucking do we tell them to go full send. So I don't recommend you play the Steam version, honestly, because Warcraft 3 for me has such a nostalgic pull, like the atmosphere of the custom maps and how they can fill so quickly. The Steam version was a lot more hardcore. When I joined and I didn't know what I was doing, I have like a little level beside my name. People instantly kicked me from their game or were just rude to me, right? And I get it, like, it's a very niche game with a niche community and they want to play with people who know what they're doing. But Warcraft 3 is just a little bit more accessible. Like, people don't necessarily know that you know what you're doing. And so in my limited experience, I suppose people were a bit more helpful. And that's why I would recommend the Warcraft 3 version. Also,
and in that standalone version, you got to remember that these people have probably been playing this game regularly this whole time and have 1,000 hours in the game. And then you pop in and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You didn't save 50 gold to send goblins on wave 4? Get out of you fucking idiot, bro.
And it's not big enough community to have matchmaking in it where it's like skill-based matchmaking or something.
I think there is a matchmaking option. It's been so long since I played Legion TD2, so my apologies if this isn't accurate, but I sat on the matchmaking lobby for a long time. Like, it was difficult to find a map. More so, people were just hosting their own game. And I mean, check it out on Steam, and maybe if it's your cup of tea, pick it up. It is a cool story that a group of modders had such a popular game on Warcraft 3 that they made a standalone game on Steam.
That is cool. And Warcraft 3 really did produce a bunch of standalone games based on the mod scene. But to go with your recommendation, yes, like I also would say, play it on Warcraft 3, because then you're already in Warcraft 3 and you can now access all the custom games.
Exactly.
And StarCraft 2 is another great game to play it.
Yes. And that one is free. The custom game side is free. The campaign is paid. Whereas Warcraft 3, we found out this week, is just $40.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Which is because I bought that game probably 7 times by how many times I've lost the CDs. So now I have the digital version. Obviously, it's never gone. But Amanda has lost her CD key.
I lost the CD. Yeah.
Which it's funny because a couple months ago, Amanda, they made a news item that says your CD keys from Warcraft 3 can no longer be redeemed on Battle.net starting next month or something. Like, they were cutting everyone off. They're like, no more CD keys. You've had 10 or 20 years or however long it's
to redeem them.
Yeah.
So even if you did find it, you'd be shit out of luck. If there was like under a mattress, you're like, I found my CD key. Too bad.
No, bro. With how much I've moved, like that sailed. Decades ago. Yeah, that's gone.
I have like a shoebox with all my most important computer games.
Oh, the secret shoebox.
Yeah, I keep them all in one small spot, but I have lost a bunch of games over the years too.
Yeah, the only CD I currently have is the 7. It's not 7. I think it's actually 5. The 5-disc set of Star Wars Galaxies install. I'm going to keep that shit forever. I love that. It was one of those CD cases that had like the 4 CD,
you flip
the multi inserts. Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 2 is like that. It's like a 5 or 6 disc.
Yeah. Install. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Okay. Well, this was a episode full of nostalgia. Are there any TDs?
It's a nostalgia app.
It's a nostalgia app. It's tower defenses. What do people expect? Amanda, some TDs you'd like to try?
Yeah, I checked out these 2 different demos of these tower defenses that I saw on Steam that I thought were really awesome. So I'll start with Underground Security Incorporated. This game is just the too long didn't listen. It's cool as hell. So it's basically you manage a dungeon and you don't let heroes get to your treasure. Now, if anybody has ever played the board game called Boss Monster, the dungeon building card game, this feels almost like a board game port. It's very close to this board game, actually. Essentially, at night, you have all these, they call them cards, but it's only your minions. And there's no cards other than you have a deck and you have a crypt, which is your discard pile. And so it shuffles and you get different minions. You can keep 2 minions to roll over in the next day, and each of your minions have like a type. They might be a part of the occult, or they might be part of goblins, or they might be part of brutes, and they have different abilities to them that are as basic as you can use this guy to mine and destroy a rock to physically expand your dungeon, or they might have like a construction icon on them, so they're better used as a builder to build traps in different parts of your dungeon. And then it shows you kind of who's coming next, so that way you can kind of prepare for the day cycle, which the day cycle is when you just sit there and you watch heroes come down a drawbridge and try and get through your dungeon to get to your treasure. You could use different spells. You unlock spells. You unlock more creatures that you can put into your dungeon, and you can unlock more traps to put in there too. And so it's just a really fun way to kind of develop a dungeon that reminded me me of Deck of Haunts. Actually, the fact that like so much of the tower defense part is the rooms and how you're building them. But this was much more this has way more creative freedom because you are literally carving out the area in the rooms and then you are designing everything that goes in it. Whereas in Deck of Haunts, it's like, oh, you have a room of ghosts. Oh, you have a room of daggers. And it's templates. Whereas this is like total free control of however you want to put it. It shows you what's going to be in the AoE of, or like the area of effect of if you put like an occult warlock down, it will show you when the enemy will get triggered and how far their spells can go, which is really cool for when you're kind of trying to,
make the dominoes,
strategize.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Make the dominoes for this. And so awesome game. Literally just came out. We're recording this on March 8th. It came out on March 6th. It just released. Cool. Super cool game. I can't remember how much money it cost, but I don't remember it being a lot. So that's great. I'll probably
kill
revisit
7 creeps
that.
And you'll be able to get one gold each.
It's super fine. Yeah, and the demo's out if you want to try it yourself still. So that's great, and that's free. The other TD that I played, which is very different. So Underground Security, incredibly modular. Like you have so much control in how you want to strategize, how you want to do things. Every little detail you can kind of control and impact. And it's a lot more complicated. They have layers for Underground Security. If you're looking for something that's way more casual, way more cutesy and cozy, I really enjoyed playing Pelikeeper. You are a pelican that was hit by the stars, or stars fell, and you now live in like a lighthouse.
I hate when that happens to me, by the way. Sometimes
I
I'm walking, I'm like, again? Hit by a star? Again?
I feel like it's raining stars. What the hell? Yeah. And so imagine you're just like this little pelican and you're living in a lighthouse and you're protecting that lighthouse from these creeps. And they are so weird looking. I thought at first that they were just...
They're creepy creeps.
They are creepy, but they're almost like a child's bad guy. Like they just look like a bunch of scribbles and almost like an eyeball. Like it's very. I don't actually think they're very scary.
When I was a child, I was scared of this brass doorknob, and I called it the Drummer Man. And I remember my mom well, who's the Drummer Man? What's he look like? And I was like, he looks like a doorknob with a keyhole in him. He's like, and she was trying to figure out like, does he have a face? Does he have I'm like, no. It's just the doorknob.
The doorknob.
Like it's literally in it. Like as a kid, I was terrified.
I'm scared of doorknobs.
Yeah. Sorry, that's an aside.
Well,
but
I mean, a door,
as far as
a door does represent, the unknown. Like you don't know what's on the other side of that door. Yeah. And the knob itself represents the action of stepping into it. Like that's your interaction to the unknown.
I agree with Freud here. There was something probably to that door.
Yeah.
And I'd have dreams and it would just be like superimposed. Like it would be the size of an adult chasing me around my house. This big doorknob.
That sounds awful. I'm sorry.
So bad.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying. Yeah, that's why he never opened up doors. He stayed in his room and he played video games. Built tower defenses.
I could be done with doors. I'm done with doors. Take all the doorknobs off. Doors are fine.
All right.
Doors can
thankfully in Pelikeeper there's like no doors. You're basically using your friends, which are cute little animals. Like when you start, you get a little porcupine tower and you get a snail tower and you get a rat tower. And so you have your friends that are different animals and you accumulate more of these guys actually as you play and unlock levels, and you build them up and you decide where they live on your big, huge lighthouse that you have. And then you do a level. And in this level, there's like a path that shows you where the creeps are going to go, and you can place whatever towers you want. Things like porcupine do like 360 spikes that come out, and you level them up. And the snail I really liked because the snail has a wonderful like damage over time effect, basically, where it's just you first do it where it just sends out a pulse and slows everybody down. So I was like, oh, perfect. I put the snail down, and then every time that the path loops, I'm going to put a porcupine tower there so it's attacking from all sides and like have this whole thing set up. But then as you level it up, the snail then will do poison and impact more and longer, and like these creepy creatures are based on like color. Like purple is the easiest one to kill. Then they go up in a different color, they go
purple's
into a
the
different
easiest.
speed.
I'm sorry.
Purple's the
White
easiest,
should be the
and then what?
Yeah,
No,
purple
those
should be the most difficult. Green should be commonly killed.
No, so it goes purple, then it goes, I believe, blue, then it's yellow, then it's white, then it's massive and green, and then it's even bigger and orange. And then the largest I saw was huge that took up like half the map and was yellow. And it just takes forever to get around. So it's really interesting. I would say it's very cute. It's very cozy. It's very casual. I wouldn't want to pay a ton of money for this, but like if it was a part of I found it very like soothing to play it. Actually, the music's very nice, and it's cute because even while you're waiting for the tower to complete, there's like little fallen star shards that happen, and you can hit E and get off of your perch as a pelican and fly to them and collect it, which gives you more money to upgrade your towers and your different defenses. So they have a way of kind of keeping you engaged even when you're sitting there watching, but I felt like it was very easy and, like I said, very casual, whereas Underground Security Incorporated I could see getting very sweaty. So it's a tale of two very different TDs. But Taylor, what tower defense did you want to play?
Yeah, well, real quick correction. Underground Security Inc. is not out yet.
What?
Yeah. I
This just
checked
in.
Steam. It's not out. You can
How dare
get the
you
demo.
click that link, Taylor? How?
I know.
How?
But, we wanted to know how much it costs, so I wanted to check, and then I saw
Right.
it doesn't have a cost because it's not out.
It's not out. That sucker ain't out.
But
Amanda looks very concerned. How did
I
ideas?
am.
How could I do? How could
Just
I lead us astray?
Well, no,
Amanda,
now
how, how could you,
now I'm-
Amanda?
Yeah, but I'm so confused because I just went off of the
Me and
demo
Taylor, we
that I
trust you.
had.
No, I'm just joking. Sorry, Taylor. What do you want to
That's
Yeah.
so crazy. No, I'm telling you, if you go to the like I downloaded the demo. If you go to the demo, oh no, okay, never mind. Yeah, my apologies, listeners. It's that the demo released separately on March 6th.
there's two
God.
separate
And
pages.
there's
a
two
demo
separate
page, there's the
pages.
main
That's
game.
what
It's hard to
it
keep
is.
track of all
Okay.
these pages. We
God.
talk about
The
so
main
many
game
games.
releases Q3 2026.
Ugh, yeah. Apologies for the
So
boomer moment,
put it
everybody.
in your calendar. Add it to your wish list. It's coming later
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
But the game that I want to try out also has a demo out, but I haven't played it yet. This game is called DarkSwitch, and it is a vertical city builder where you are building your town or your city in a giant tree.
Whoa.
And like looking through the Steam page and watching the trailers and stuff, I don't know that this game is doing anything that's like revolutionizing the genre necessarily.
Bless
But-
you, Amanda. Sorry, I just didn't want to go.
Thanks.
Our listeners didn't hear the sneeze because you muted yourself, and I just wanted to call out that there was a sneeze. Sorry, this is so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Bless
Oh,
you,
man.
Basically, bless you. Basically,
Thanks.
yeah.
This episode is spiraling out of control.
This just in.
This just in. They're not doing anything super revolutionary in the genre.
Yes. But like for me, just the idea that you're building a ginormous tree fort is awesome. That's a
Yeah.
fantasy of mine. I've always wanted to build a giant tree fort, and like being able to build a tree city. Come on, man. That's
It's in Maslow's
awesome.
hierarchy. I think it's like the second. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
One of the interesting things this game has as well is that you can send out scout units of certain types into the world to like discover more about the world and where the enemies are. So like your enemy is the fog, and I don't know exactly what the fog is. And then you're also trying to uncover the mystery of the veil. And the Steam page is not super descriptive about what these elements are, and they just sound kind of ominous, and partially because the game is also tagged horror. So I'm thinking it's like a nature slash like folk tale take on the genre, and the idea of having a tower defense slash city builder type strategy game that is that also is single player with a narrative, like it has a storyline that you go through and there's an end. And to me is really appealing. And it's not like what we described as what tower defenses are, where it's just like you keep fighting enemy waves until they either stop or you die.
This is more like a loose.
Right. This has a story to it that you're progressing through, and seemingly has a definitive end to it as well. Like, so that is compelling to me as something I'd like to try. Like, it's ticking a lot of boxes. I've got giant tree fort, I've got city builder, I've got tower defense strategy, and I've got creepy folk tales. And
cool.
Like, come on.
What
man.
other boxes can be checked,
Exactly.
if any?
That's why it's called DarkSwitch, because it switches between all of it,
Yeah. And the name also made me think of switch as in like a branch, like
Yeah.
a switch that you might hit someone with.
Okay. I didn't even
like
know that
that.
was a word that is used from a tree branch. Yeah.
No,
okay.
like a switch is like, like in the past when they used to beat children as parenting.
Yes.
You would get a switch and you'd spank them with the switch or whatever.
Got
and it
it.
would be like a thin, long, piece of branch or something.
Get out of here,
Kind of
Fog.
whipped a little.
Yeah, whip it away. Get
Yeah.
out of here. Yeah.
But what about you, Christian? Is there one you're looking forward to?
Nope.
Okay.
What's our community up to? So first, executive producer Truthbringer, thank you for supporting us on Patreon above the normal amount. You are only executive producer, and for that, we say your name every episode, and we humbly thank you. I just want to give a shout out to these people I'm calling my At War baddies. So At War is this online, free-to-play, essentially risk-like game strategy. You take a turn every 24 hours. So if you have a real life and real job, like all of us, you can play it, right? You can take a turn a day. It takes maybe 5-10 minutes, something like that. I hosted a secret Star Wars Galactic Civil War game to try to get the hang of things. And then I invited some of those people to our community to play a future At War game, and they joined. So shout out to those people. Thank you for joining. And then I hosted a Lord of the Rings game for some people I haven't talked to in a while, and also DLG folks. Taylor and Amanda were up until very recently playing. Amanda just got wiped off the map by Angmar. The shadows of Angmar have destroyed Amanda. I'm playing Isengard, so that's been fun. If you want to play At War in the future, come on down to the Discord. I'm going to be hosting these games. I really like the concept of taking a turn once every even 48 hours. I might extend the next one to 48-hour turns just so people really have the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
I would like that if you had an extended turn timer.
Yeah.
Because I did run into that issue as well.
Yeah,
But
Rune.
it's a lot of fun.
Taylor was Rune, and Taylor's just been overrun by the hordes of Mordor. So
I know. And you know what? He betrayed me, stabbed me in the back. But what do you expect from Mordor?
What do you expect from Mordor?
We had peace. We had almost an alliance going. We're like, hey, East versus West. And then as soon as I start going West, he's like, JK, I'm going to kill you now.
Yes. Yeah, you go East, I'll go West. And I'll also go West.
And for anybody that is a little intimidated and doesn't really know how to play, neither did I. And I still had a great time. Definitely did not win, but I had a great time. Yeah.
Nice. Taylor, listener questions and corrections. What do we have?
Yeah. So we have a question from Burn Division from our Discord. Burn Division asks, what were your sources for gaming news in your early gaming days? I used to get magazines such as Electronic Gaming Monthly and PC Gamer.
I also used to buy the PC Gamer magazines. I had also copies of Edge magazine. because both those would come with demo discs. So I would always ask my mom, "Hey, can we pick up the mag?" And she'd reluctantly like buy them every so often. And then after, when I had more access to like a little laptop, my first laptop that I got, God, what is this? Okay, this is gonna. Holy, what am I saying? There was a web comic that used to talk about video games. A funny British man. Is his name Total Biscuit? And he's no longer with us? Is that...
Total Biscuit passed away.
Yes.
But he was a YouTuber.
Yeah. And he made these like web comics about... He would review video games in like this web comic style. Yeah. And that's where I got pretty much all my news after. I was like, what is he saying about the game? Does he like it?
One of the greatest people for that, too. He was like the premier source for that, like reviews and all that stuff.
I was the theme song. Sick. It's branded into my brain, never to be forgotten.
Sick.
That's why they call it a brand, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
like a marketing brand, it is branded into you.
I did not know that. Fun fact.
Fun fact. Fun marketing fact of the day.
Well, let's see. I used to also subscribe to PC Gamer, and what was interesting to me is, for those who don't know, I was born and originally grew up in Washington State, and then when I was 10, our family moved to England, and so I had a subscription to PC Gamer in the U.S. As a child and loved it, like you said, demo discs and whatever. And so I got a lot of my news from that. But then when we moved to the UK, they also had PC Gamer, but it was different. It was totally different. And in my opinion, much, much better. Like each magazine was like much thicker, like way more articles and content in it. The authors were all different, and it came with like way more demos than the US
supercharged.
one.
And
it was just
this is
really
where you
good.
Developed your impeccable Cockney accent. If I'm like, if you wanted to pull it out now, I know you have it. It's.
I don't know if I can do Cockney that well, but like, hey, governor.
Oh, hey, governor. Hey, governor. I like it. Nice.
You want biscuit? You want biscuit and some tea?
Yeah.
Come on, Christian.
I'm feeling peckish. I'm feeling peckish.
You feeling peckish? Let's get that fixed up for you.
Is this insane? I have no idea if this is okay.
Right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this cultural appropriation?
Hey, tell us if you're from the British Isles. Let us know if we're being fucking rude. Okay. Cool.
For me, I also grew up with PC Gamer. Again, love the
but
disc,
not with a Cockney accent, unless.
No, it was.
I did
more
have
so,
a real accent though for a while. Just so you know.
Cool.
No, I grew up in bumfuck farmlands in Michigan, and so we relied heavily on when Game Informer would actually come in the mail. I just dropped the other one. It was Game Informer is probably where I got more of my stuff from instead of PC Gamer, but because I played a lot of Xbox and console growing up as well too, and so Game Informer was a nice way to have kind of a bit of both. But yeah, it's just PC Gamer and Game Informer. Cool. But yeah.
I miss my magazine subscriptions. I used to get several, like National Geographic, Popular Science.
Yeah.
I had these like holders for them on my bookshelf, and I had this big collection of them, and they were so important to me. Like I could not throw out my magazines. Lego magazine. Anyway.
According to social media, magazines are kind of making a comeback in some communities. Like I saw in Seattle, it's kind of booming again. They call them the zines. They're bringing back zines. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You're not in the zine scene?
No, I'm not in the zine scene, I suppose. Clearly.
Zine scene.
But yeah, they're bringing them back to some people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. There's always been like punk rock zines or like niche zines that you can get from a community, and those are cool. Check them out. I guarantee you, wherever you live, there are local ones that you can.
Just got to go to local coffee shops and random, like, probably boutique stores.
Actually,
maybe.
there's this guy in Calgary. He has this, huge birdwalk, this cargo bike that he has ripped out, like where people would sit or where you would put cargo. And it is a magazine printer. And he'll just go to events and he'll take like the stamps that he's pre-made and precast and then make the magazines live for you.
Oh, that is really cool.
And have you press down on each page, and then he staples it together and he gives it to you. Very cool, yes.
Sounds like we need to make a DLG zine.
Zine. I would.
A DLG zine.
I would love that. With the big backlog on the back, just a
Yeah.
big butt.
Big backlog.
Big backlog.
Big backlog.
All right, Amanda, what are we plugging this week?
All right, we're not plugging the big backlog. Let it flow. Anyway, so we're plugging. There's Women's Day sale coming up, March 6th to the 15th. Some of these games that I'm about to name drop have been made by women-led studios. Now you know games like Dredge, Tiny Glade, Overcooked 2, Unpacking, Sultan's Game. These are all made by women-led studios. And so I'm going to be checking out and streaming some demos, such as Tavern Talk, When the Past Was Around, this one game that's got a super long name called S4U, City Punk 2011, and I Love Punch. It's random.
I do love Punch.
And then Undusted Letters from the Past. I'm kind of getting a Toge Productions theme, and I've been on a pretty big like coffee talk kick lately too. So makes sense. Toge is ran by a lot of women that are in the studio as well, and have made a lot of games that are from teams of women. So anyway, check out the Women's Day sale. There's going to be an announcement on Discord when I stream. So if you haven't gone to Discord and don't know what I'm talking about, go to Discord. Just start there. Just start there. It's time.
DLGaming.net Discord. You won't regret it. I hope. I mean, you could. Tell me if you do. I've never heard of anyone regretting it. I'm acting on best information. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, that was the show. My name is Christian. Joining us today was, of course, Taylor and Amanda. Tune in next week because we're back to our regular scheduled programming. Taylor will be going full mech. His teammates are saying, Taylor, drop everything else, go full mech. He's going full mech into Mechwarrior 5.
I'm joining the clan.
Oh, I don't know if we should say that. But anyways, on the next episode,
Okay, yep.
Taylor will be going full mech for Mechwarrior 5. That'll be fun. We're playing out on Blood Moon from 7 Days to Die. Almost a TD. Enjoy.
TD Light.
TD Light. I think they replaced this music in the latest version of 7 Days to Die. Did they? Is it still this?
It sounds about right.
Okay.
I love the little ba-da-da.
And this is definitely music that would be in a tower defense.